Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we are going to talk about FEOD 20, the last and final dimensions and to arrive to global Opera Omnia very soon. The gameplay that you see in the background is the actual FEOD 20 fight using the exact same team that I used when this first came to Opera Omnia many months ago. Now, not only am I here to show off the gameplay for FEOD 20 so that you can pay attention and look out for some of the things that I'm doing, etc., but I'm also here to guide you because there are 6 waves instead of the 2 that is mentioned in the description of this fight, and in 5 of those waves there are different things that you need to pay attention to, because if you do something wrong, or if you let the boss attack you, more than likely you will get insta-nuked. So I am here to provide you the information needed so that way you can build up your team comps and make sure that you do everything correctly to beat FEOD 20. And at the end of the discussion, I also do have some team comp examples, which of course you can also look on YouTube for other team comps that is not mentioned in this video. So as always, if you do enjoy this video and you found it informative, make sure to hit that like button, share it around the community, and subscribe for future content, as I am trying to hit the big 2K after the recent 1K milestone, and your support would be greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's talk about FEOD 20. So for wave 1, you need to look out for a couple things, but not too much compared to wave 2 and the other shenanigans that we're going to be talking about here in just a bit. So for wave 1, the main boss cannot be delayed except for break, and cannot be launched. If the side mobs are present, the main boss is immune to delay via break, and also gives the main boss HP damage reduction. At the start of the fight, the main boss will immediately attack you with a strong AoE HP attack. The recast ability is an AoE Brave plus HP attack, and it is one that I highly recommend that you avoid. The side mobs can also respawn after you take them out. Now, speaking about the side mobs are also immune to delay except for break, and cannot be launched. And they can also heal the main boss based on the Brave damage dealt. So a few things to talk about with wave 1 is to make sure that you knock out those side mobs as quickly as possible, because you don't want them to start healing the main boss. Once the side mobs are gone, your main thing is to make sure that you knock out the bigger boss, the main boss, as quickly as possible before it has a chance to bring those side mobs once again, and then you have to do the process all over again. So if you can somehow be able to do some heavy damage as quickly as possible without killing your skills, then you will be successful in wave 1. So the main boss in wave 2 is different from the first one, because in wave 2 you are technically fighting the boss 5 times. It has 5 lives, and in each of those lives it has different effects that you have to make sure you pay attention to, look out for, and avoid to be able to defeat FEOD 20. So on the first life, you are going to get a small Brave reduction on the Brave damage that you do to the enemy, but you do get an increase in weakness damage being dealt to the enemy. The second life, you get a bigger Brave damage reduction, but you do get increased battery to your team, so it kind of balances out for the first and the second life. The third life is one of the ones that you really have to pay attention to, because you have to avoid getting broken or you will get killed. That is, like, I cannot stress this enough when I say do not get broken or you're gonna have to reset the wave. On the fourth life, you have to make sure that the boss does not take a turn or you will get nuked. Kind of similar to the third one, except that you can't let him make a move, because what it does is if you do let him attack, it's going to be an AoE HP attack where it destroys your team and you're going to have to reset the wave over again. On the fifth life, the last one before you finally beat FEOD 20, the enemy stats increase, and the third all attack that it does, which is an AoE attack, will nuke your party. So basically you have 3 turns of the enemy before it decides to nuke your entire party. So my recommendation is, for the first and second life, you know, do your normal thing, you know, make sure you don't get broken, even though you won't get nuked if you get broken in the first or second life. And you know, just try not to use too many skills up until you get to the third and fourth life. On the third life, I would either recommend that you summon or use your burst if you do have a burst unit, so that way you can knock out its HP as quickly as possible. Or you can save that for the fourth life, where you have to not let it get a turn, or you will get nuked. You can do either one of the two. In the gameplay that you see from that I just recorded earlier today, what I did is I actually summoned and then I bursted on the last wave. The last wave, since the enemy does get an increase in its stats like attack, defense, etc., etc., I wanted to make sure that my burst effect would last the duration of the fight, so that way I wouldn't have to deal with any type of like brave reduction, you know, I'm doing little damage, etc., etc. Even though I had an Imperil in my team, I still wanted to make sure that I was able to knock off the boss and be able to beat FEOD 20. So that's like a few tips that I would recommend that you guys doing. But you know, with this guide, hopefully, you know, you can think of maybe something better than what I've said in this video, so that way you are able to defeat FEOD 20, you get your goodies and everything like that, and then from here on out, it's basically preparing for Transcendence, which is basically FEOD Lufenia style, but that'll be for another video. Right now, this is just mainly focused on FEOD 20. Now I have a few examples of some team comps that you can use to bring into FEOD 20. You got Lightning, Gladio, and Rude with the Brother Summon, Lightning, Ramza, and Guy with Diablo Summon, Ramza, Guy, and Rude with the Odin Summon, Cryo, Gladio, and Cloud with the Diablo Summon, Artemisia with a Penelo call, Guy with a Ramza call, Firion with a Jack call, and then the Odin Summon, and Warrior of Light, Ramza, and Jack with a Diablo Summon. And of course, there's many more team comps that you can easily do, that you can easily find on the internet, on YouTube, anywhere that, well, that has provided any type of help with FEOD 20. You can easily find. That way, you know, if you're having a little trouble setting up team comps, you know, you have options out there to be able to find what would best suit you and what units you have pulled in your account. So overall, FEOD 20 is not that hard of a fight. You have many options, many units to be able to bring into FEOD 20 to be able to complete it. Me, myself, I wanted to bring Lightning because I wanted those quick attacks. I wanted to make sure that the enemy didn't have the opportunity to make any type of moves that could cause me to have to reset the game or reset the wave. And then of course Penelo providing the brave regen, the HP regen. Guy is right there to help me when it comes to reducing any type of HP damage if I do take any, except for the beginning of FEOD 20 where you are always going to take that AoE hit. But he was also there for that Earthen Peril, since going up against his boss, it doesn't really resist anything aside from like HP silence and stuff like that, except for paralysis. It could actually get paralyzed, which is why Cryo was featured with the release of FEOD 20, because her LD does paralyze the enemy once the trap is triggered. So, and like I said, there are many team comps that you can use, but overall though, this fight, thankfully it's a chaos fight, but it's kind of like a mini Lufenia fight to kind of get you ready for some stronger Lufenia fights, and especially Transcendence, because Transcendence it's on a whole nother level of difficulty, just because of how different they approached FEOD. But with Transcendence it's different. But I will talk about that whenever we get closer, whenever Global gets closer to the release of Transcendence Stage 1. So, but other than that though, guys, that's going to be it for the video. I'm going to let the rest of the gameplay play out so that you can see everything that's going on. Hopefully this information, or hopefully this video was informative and helpful into helping you prepare for FEOD 20. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any other questions, and I will try to reply to them as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and I will catch you guys in my next video.
みんなを守る。仕留め。出なさい。 覚悟を決めたわ。おしまいよ。はあ、切り開く。
任せろ。
受けろ。仕留める。さよなら。仕留める。頑張ろう。焼き付けろ。蹴散らす。切り裂く。そりゃあ、受けろ。受けろ。仕留める。祈りを届いて。みんなを守る。 焼き付けろ。焼き付けろ。受けろ。いくよ。
任せろ。
切り裂く。そりゃあ。受けろ。